Before we deconstruct the massive demographic and financial shift currently threatening the UAE tech ecosystem, I have 3 critical questions for you to answer in the comments below. Number 1. Are your business margins actively growing, or are they being quietly suffocated by rising operational friction and hidden cost of living in a hyper-inflated metropolis? Number 2. Do you still believe that glass and steel skyscraper is a requirement for high-performance culture, or have you embraced the asynchronous velocity? Number 3. Have you evaluated the Oman Tech Corridor as a structural hedge against the Dubai's market saturation? Let me know your answer. If you are new to the channel, here is my intro. I'm Dr. HR and I approach the global labor and capital market not with the emotional comforting advice, but as a structural algorithmic system. I hold a PhD in Human Resources, a Master's from prestigious Tata Institute of Social Sciences, TISS in Mumbai, and a Bachelor's in Computer Engineering. Operating on the ground here in Dubai since 2010, consulting for Tier 1 corporate entities, sovereign wealth funds, and apex tech founders, I have mapped exactly how human capital flows across borders. The market does not reward loyalty to a specific zip code, it rewards structural efficiency and uncompromised margins. The era of a glass and a steel hub is officially over. While everyone else is still desperately fighting over expensive, hyper-inflated real estate in Dubai, savvy digital nomads and elite operators are quietly migrating to Oman's new tech corridor. We are aggressively trading oversaturated market and rising operational friction for high-speed infrastructure and sustained margin that actually protect your bottom line. Your business margins are being systematically suffocated by the hidden cost of the life in the UAE. I'm showing you exactly why apex operators are pivoting to Muscat to leverage strategic residency incentives and significantly lower operational burn rate. By tapping into this emerging tech corridor, you maintain a crucial proximity to regional capital while entirely bypassing the fatigue of an overpriced desert metropolis. What if you could insert your operations into the next global tech hub before the rest of the world catches on? Oman is actively building a corridor where high-speed innovation meets long-term sustainability, and the early adopters have already left Dubai behind. It is time to move your operations to where the future of Middle East is actually being built. Before I completely deconstruct the financial decay of the Dubai digital nomad lifestyle, expose the exact mechanics of the Oman strategic pivot, and give you the precise architectural blueprint to protect your capital and maintain asynchronous velocity, hit the subscribe button and press the notification bell. I post daily videos showing you exactly how to navigate the global labor and capital market using cold, hard engineering logic. You do not want to miss these execution protocols. Stop paying the urban Vanity Premium. Grab a notebook, it is time to engineer your extraction. Phase 1. The suffix of saturation, the migration hook. We must first diagnose the exact debilitating financial disease that is currently destroying the viability of Dubai for modern digital nomads. For the last 5 years, Dubai has been the undisputed apex predator of the global talent market. The UAE government executed a flawless, aggressive strategy to attract crypto founders, AI engineers, and independent operators. They offered zero income tax, streamlined visas, and the allure of a hyper-modern metropolis. It worked perfectly, too perfectly. Dubai has reached the point of terminal saturation. When a market becomes saturated, it ceases to be an accelerator and becomes a massive point of operational friction. Let us translate this into a plain engineering logic. Imagine a server network. When you overload the network with too much traffic, you experience packet loss, high latency, and eventual system failure. Dubai is currently experiencing the biological and the financial packet loss. The digital nomad who arrived in 2022 to leverage the geo-arbitrage of a tax-free haven is now trapped in a city where the cost of one-bedroom apartment in the marina or downtown has mathematically exploded. The infrastructure, while magnificent, is choked with traffic. The cost of basic human sustenance, transportation, and connectivity has risen so aggressively that it has completely neutralized the tax advantage. You are no longer saving money by living in Dubai, you are paying a massive unrecorded urban vanity premium. You're paying to sit in a glass tower just to tell other people on the Instagram that you are sitting in a glass tower. The apex operators, the engineers who understand the value stream mapping look at this equation and realizes the math no longer computes. The operational friction, the cost of living, distraction, hyper-competition has exceeded the operational output, proximity to the venture capital. Therefore, the system triggers an extraction protocol. The elite operators are leaving. Phase 2, the Muscat Pivot, the financial efficiency hook. Where does the capital go when it leaves a saturated node? It seeks the path of a least resistant and highest sustainable leverage. It moves to the Oman Tech Corridor. To understand this pivot, you must understand the geography and the strategic intent of Oman shares a border with the UAE. It is 1 hour flight from Dubai to Muscat. But the economic reality is completely different universe. We are moving past the era of a mega city and entering the era of sovereign node. Oman is not trying to copy Dubai. They are not building the world's tallest building or the world's largest mall. They are building a highly calculated, sustainable infrastructure designed specifically for asynchronous, high-velocity digital operator. Let us break down the exact financial efficiency of the Muscat Pivot. 1. The real estate arbitrage. In Dubai, a premium workspace or a residential lease is consuming up to 40% of a startup's founder personal runway. In Muscat or the emerging tech zones in Salalah, the real estate market is rational. You can secure a premium high-speed digital operating base for less than third of a cost. You instantly recapture the 30% of your business margin without changing a single line of code in your product. 2. The residency architecture. Oman watched the UAE playbook and refined it. They have rolled out aggressively the competitive investors and digital nomad visa. They are offering long-term residency up to 10 years for tech investors and specialized talent with significantly lower capital requirement than the golden visa threshold currently enforced in Dubai. They are lowering the barriers to entry for high IQ capital. 3. The frictionless environment. In Lean Six Sigma, any element that distracts from deep work is a defect. Dubai is a city built on distraction, constant networking, constant event, constant superficial friction. Oman is structurally quieter. It offers an environment where an engineer can enter a deep cognitive flow state. You replace the exhaustion of a 6-hour road traffic with the unshakable calm of Gulf of Oman coastline. You are not downgrading your lifestyle, you are upgrading your cognitive bandwidth. Phase 3, the proximity illusion, the asynchronous velocity. The immediate panicked question from a legacy founders when confronted with the Oman pivot is always, if I leave Dubai, won't I lose access to venture capital and the networking? Won't I be isolated? This question reveals a fatal flaw in the 20th century thinking. It is the proximity illusion. In 2026, high-performance culture is not about physical proximity, it is about asynchronous velocity. If you are a tech founder or a highly specialized operator, your value is not derived from attending a blockchain conference in the DIFC. Your value is derived from an unautomatable, mathematical perfect code you push to the global grid. You do not need to live in the same zip code as your investor. Let us map the value stream of a regional capital. Saudi Arabia and the UAE hold the massive sovereign wealth funds and the venture capital pool. But the capital does not care where your laptop is physically located. Capital cares about your deployment speed, your burn rate, and your structural logic. By relocating your primary operational base to Oman, you are executing the ultimate leverage play. You build your product in Muscat, benefiting from the massive reduction in the operational burn rate. You extend your runway by 18 months. You deploy asynchronous communications protocol using high-fidelity video broadcast and meticulously structured database to manage your team. When you do need to meet a tier 1 investor in Dubai or Riyadh, you are 1 hour, $100 flight away. You fly in, execute the high-stake presentation in the boardroom, secure the capital, and immediately fly back to your sovereign node in Oman. You extract the value of the mega city without paying the daily grinding tax of living inside it. You have optimized the equation. Phase 4, the next big thing, engineering the future. We have diagnosed the saturation of Dubai, mapped the financial efficiency of Muscat, and shattered the proximity illusion. Now we must examine the macro-level strategic advantage of early adopter. We must analyze the next big thing. What if you could get into the next global tech hub before the rest of the world catches on? Oman is not just offering cheap rent. They are fundamentally restructuring their national economy under Oman Vision 2040. They are pivoting violently away from oil dependence and heavily subsidizing digital infrastructure, artificial intelligence research, and sustainable energy grids. They are building the Oman Tech Corridor. When you migrate your operations to a developing corridor, you are not just a tenant, you are an architect. In Dubai, you are a drop in an ocean. The government does not care about a mid-level SaaS startup because they already have 10,000 of them. You have zero structural leverage. In Oman, the ecosystem is hungry. The government ministries and the local enterprise clients are actively seeking digital integration. If you bring an Apex Oracle SCM deployment strategy or an advanced Lean Sigma automation protocol to Muscat, you're not competing with the saturated market. You are the absolute tip of the spear. You have the opportunity to secure the massive foundational government contract. You have the opportunity to shape the regulatory framework of emerging tech zones. You are not just operating a business, you are establishing a monopoly in a highly lucrative, emerging sovereign node. The early adopters who moved to Dubai in 2014 captured the massive exponential growth of the last decade. The apex operators of 2026 recognize that the Dubai curve is flattening. The exponential curve is now forming in Oman. You must move your corporation to where the future of the Middle East actually being built. Phase 5, the sovereign digital extraction, execution. The final phase is the physical and the psychological execution of your migration. You cannot simply pack a suitcase and move to Muscat. You must deploy the sovereign digital extraction protocol. If you attempt to execute this move while maintaining the legacy corporate habit, you will fail. You must restructure your entire professional footprint. Step 1. Audit the vanity. You must ruthlessly audit your current expenses. Look at your Dubai's balance sheet. Identify every single dirham you are spending on vanity. The expensive office you rarely use, the high-end networking dinners that yield zero ROI, the premium residential lease. Quantify exactly how much operational runway this vanity is burning. Step 2. Centralize the workflow. Before you migrate, your business must be mathematically decoupled from your physical presence. Implement the deep asynchronous protocol. Eradicate synchronous Zoom meetings. Move all strategy and documentation to centralized cloud-based architecture. If your business collapses because you are not physically in the same room as your team for a week, you do not have a business, you have an adult daycare. Fix the architecture. Step 3. Establish the Muscat base camp. Do not burn your UAE bridges immediately. Execute a calculated transition. Secure your Omani investor visa. Establish a high-fidelity digital studio in your new Muscat operating base. Deploy your elite Cineline gear, your Sony FX series camera, and DaVinci Resolve editing suite. Step 4. Broadcast the leverage. When you have successfully extracted your operations, you must broadcast your new leverage to the market. You step into your acoustic-treated studio in Oman. You record a highly structured, unsentimental video essay for your investors and client. You do not apologize for leaving Dubai. You explain the physics of the move. We have successfully relocated our primary operational node to Oman Tech Corridor. This strategic extraction has reduced our monthly burn rate by 35%, extending our operational runway by 18 months. We have optimized our environment for deep cognitive flow, resulting in 20% increase in code deployment velocity. We remain 60 minutes away from DIFC for necessary physical deployment. We have decoupled our output from urban inflation, protecting your capital investment. When an investor watches that broadcast, they do not see a founder who gave up on Dubai. They see an apex operator who understands how to ruthlessly manipulate the physical world to protect the balance sheet. They see a structural engineer of the capital. Look closely at your current operational environment. Are you fighting a losing battle against a hyperinflation and urban distraction? Are you paying an exorbitant premium just to exist in a saturated market? The era of the glass and the steel hub is over. The era of the sovereign node has arrived. Stop funding the vanity project. Audit your margin. Decentralize your workflow. Execute the Oman extraction and position your operations exactly where the exponential curve is forming. Process the data, execute the strategy, and I'll see you at the top.